So in 2005, I wrote this. It says it's a mini soap opera. And the thing is, it was done in December 6th, 2005. And it's in Spanish, but I'm going to translate it to English. Be aware that many of the things that it says here was before I met my wife. But it's kind of funny. The title of it, it calls Crazy Love. Crazy Love, right? All right. So it said everything started in a town close to South California. I was walking without nothing to do, and I see this bar, and I start approaching little by little. As I was approaching the bar, I felt like it was so hot that night, and I had blue jeans on, a white t-shirt. I got to the bar, I opened the door. I go to the bartender and I ask him for a beer. I was all by myself drinking, and I see in the far from the bar these beautiful eyes looking at me. I decided to go to the music box and play a song that made everybody start dancing. I approached the lady. That was looking at me. I asked the bartender to give her another drink. And I asked her for her name. She told me her name was Carmen. And I told her she had beautiful eyes. I asked her if she wanted something to eat. And she said yes. I asked her if there was any place around that we could go eat. And she said there is a diner by 15 to 20 minutes away. We left. We got to the place. We asked for some sodas, and we had breakfast. She asked me where I'm from, and I told her I was from far away in Puerto Rico. She was, how do you say that? When somebody's like, she was surprised and asked me, what am I doing all the way in Southern California? I tell her I want to be a writer, so that's why I came over here. She took me to my house, and I asked her if she wanted to come in for a drink, aka for a nightcap. Hold on. Don't break. She sat on my couch, and I went to go get the drinks. And at that moment, she asked me, I asked her what does she does for work. And she said she's a cashier at a supermarket. I was staring and got stuck on stupid to her beautiful, green, soft eyes. It was getting late, and I asked her if she wanted to spend the night. I had an extra room that she could sleep in. And she said yes. We went to sleep. Obviously, she went to the room that she was, and I went to my room. It was a silent night. And like around 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up with a bad dream. I go to the bathroom, and I look, and the door of that room is open. I look, I turn the light on, and she's not there. So I went back to sleep with nothing to think. I woke up like around 12 p.m. and I called my best friend Steve. I told him what happened. Then my other line started ringing. I picked it up and it was Carmen. She was saying, apologizing because she left. And I asked her if she would like to go out. She said yes. We went to the movies and we went out to eat. We went back to her house. It was getting late, and I told her that I was gonna go home. And she told me no because she didn't want to be alone. That night we made love, passionate love. I woke up the next morning and she asked me why I was leaving. And I said I had to go home, take a shower. She said, okay. So I left. About an hour later, she called me and asked me if I was going to see her again. And I said yes, just for a moment, just because I had to go to work the next day. It's getting hot. I went to go see her. And the same thing of the other night, we made passionate love. I told her I needed to go because I needed to go work the next day. I went to work. Everything was good. Nothing was in my mind. My mind was clear. Then all of a sudden, my phone started ringing. And it was her. She was crying. She was telling me that she wanted to see me. I tell her I couldn't. And she started screaming. She started saying, who are you with? Who the fuck are you with? I said, with nobody. I'm about to go to work. I'll call you when I'm on lunch. So we can go out, get something to eat. We can meet up and go get something to eat. She said yes. And she wanted to talk to me. I tell her, okay, bye. The time for lunch came. And me and her meet up. We talked. And she told me if I wanted to move in with her. And with a smile, I looked at her. Because in my mind, I'm like, we're moving a little too fast. She started crying. She was saying, she was asking me to think about it. I'll say, okay, no problem. I went back to work thinking. I went back home. I picked up all my mail from the floor, from the door. And in all the mail, I saw some bills. There was a letter from her, saying that she loved me and that she couldn't live without me. I called her and I told her about the letter, and she didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to say, only that she loved me and that she wanted me. At that moment, I didn't know what to say. I just thinking in what I have done, what did I put myself into. I started telling her my story and why those words are so big to be saying. But she sounded really mad. She sounded really mad. And with so much in my mind to think about, I tell her that I couldn't move in. And then I needed time to think. Title is Crazy Love, you know?
Donnie.
But I didn't know what she had in her mind, in her head. That's when the finish, the beginning of the end started. Every night I hear sounds in my house. I go to the other room and there was nobody there. Just the bed alone. And the next day, when I woke up in my kitchen, the window was broken. I didn't have nothing to say, just thinking. And who could have done this? And then her name came to my head. Carmen. Then I hear a laugh. That it was coming from the living room. I walked to the living room, and that's where she was, reading my letters. When I looked at her, she had a gun. She looked at me with a look that I never seen before. She started talking, telling me how in another state, nobody knew that she killed her ex. I asked her, hold on. I asked her why did she did it to tell me the story of her life. And she told me how her dad and her uncle abused her. I told her that the past is past. And then from the bottom of my heart, I apologize. I apologize for what is in her soul that is killing her little by little. I tell her, please, put your gun down. That she didn't have to do this. After a little bit, she put the gun down in the floor. And she got on her knees crying. She hugged me, asking me to forgive her. I looked up, telling her to don't worry because I was gonna give her the love that she desires. But I never thought that 5 months later, she would be pregnant. She would be pregnant, and it made me happy. Thinking that baby, thinking about that baby, but something in my mind was telling me, how can I love someone who tried to kill me? And that is the secret of life. Crazy love. by Pedro Velez Albizu. Just for you. Thank you. What you think about my novel, my novela?
Who's Carmen?
Oh, get the fuck out of here. This shit was before you, so whatever.
Who's Carmen?
I hope everybody liked it. I'm talking. I hope everybody liked it.
Carmen.
You guys have a good one. Peace. Love y'all.